It's just like a couple, I think. Like, well, I might save these ones for Monday, so like 5.
Okay, let's go.
All right. All right, so these next problems say to find f composed of g of 3 and g composed of f of negative 2. So we've got f of x is equal to x squared minus 1 and g of x is equal to 2x minus 3. So it wants us to first find f composed of g of 3. Okay, just so you know, typically when I write it, I'm going to write f of g of 3. I don't know why I put that there. I'm going to typically write it like that on the test. You're more likely to see that notation, but this is the way your book writes it, so just those are the same thing. All right, so this means that I am putting in this equation anywhere I see an x and f of x. Okay? So I'm going to have 2x minus 3 squared minus 1.
Are those parentheses?
Even what does the of 3 do?
Then at the end, anywhere there's an x, we're going to put a 3. You technically could do the 3 first, but I like to wait until the end to do it. Because there are going to be problems where you don't have a number you're plugging in, so I like showing you what you're doing. Because it doesn't change the answer either way. So, let's see. So what does this factor into?
2x squared minus or plus 9 technically.
4x squared.
That's what I
And
meant.
then 2x times negative 3, right?
Minus 6x.
Well, but I've got to have 2 of them, because remember I've got...
Oh.
Remember, that's really what I have.
I'm stupid. I was distributing. So stupid.
Negative 12x. Plus 9.
And then minus 1. So then 4x squared minus 12x plus 8.
Now you plug in a 3.
Now you plug in the 3, so 4 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 8. What is this? 36 minus 36 plus 8.
Equal to 8.
So that's equal to 8.
That was so fun. I really like that. It's like very satisfying.
It's like doing a puzzle, so I like it. All right, then g of f of negative 2. So now I'm taking this and putting it in for x here. So I have 2 times x squared minus 1 minus 3.
Why is it? Oh, is the negative 2 just like the problem?
Yeah, that's what's getting
Okay.
plugged in, like how we did the 3.
Okay.
It's just this one's negative 2.
You do opposite.
Now this is distributing.
Wait.
So now this
Yeah.
goes into here.
No, I got
Yes, this one
2x
is
squared
distributing.
Minus 2 minus 3. And so 2x squared minus 5. And then 2x. No, 2 times negative 2 squared minus 5. I can't speak. 8. My brain kind of stalled.
Mine is
So not
just
too bad, right?
Constants. Solution.
I'm running out of room because these problems are so long and I only saved a page. Like if you said there's 5 left, I'm gonna have to count.
Well, no, I meant there's 5 like for today. Then there's I will let y'all study if you want.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Monday.
Yeah, I might have to get another sheet of paper out because that's the only page I saved and it's already
All right,
awesome.
14. F of x is equal to x over x plus 1, and g of x is equal to 9 minus x squared. So this one I'm going to do the other way where I plug the number in first and then we plug that number in to the other function, okay, just to show you that either way will work. So we have the same, it wants f of g of 3. So in g of x, I'm going to put a 3. So g of 3 is 9 minus 3 squared, which is what? 0. So then anywhere I see an x in f of x,
Does that say fog or F times G?
It's like F of G.
it's f of g. It's like a little tiny like open circle. So then I'm going to write this way now to show that I've already done it. Okay, so that I know exactly what's going in. So like I said, I like this notation better for a lot of reasons, but especially now that I've already put the 3 in so that I know that what's going in for x is what g of 3 was equal to. So 0 over 0 plus 1 is equal to 0. And then the other one is g of f of -2. So I'll do f of -2 first. So anywhere we see an x in f of x, we're putting a -2. So -2 over -2 plus 1.
I have a question. How do you know which equation to start with?
If I'm plugging in a number,
Yeah, like how do you
Whatever
know
one
to
is on the
start with
inside.
f of x?
whatever one's on the inside. So
Okay.
g of f. So it's like whatever's touching. That's another reason I like this notation. Because it's just like PEMDAS. So it's like, okay, I start with the f of 2. Or, well, I start with the 2 in f. And then I take that whole thing and plug it into g. Alright, so what does this give me?
2.
2. So then now g of f of -2 is equal to, I'm plugging in a 2. Anywhere I see an x in g of x, so 9 minus 2 squared. 5.
So you can do it either way. Is it just like your preference, or will it tell you to do the number first?
You can do it either way. But the reason I showed you the other way first is that in some of the problems, like the ones we're getting ready to do, it's not going to give you a number to plug in. So I wanted you to see it without the number first so that you could get used to like exactly what's happening. Because plugging in a number, you're used to doing that. Because basically, this method, you're just plugging in a number twice. The other method, you actually got to plug in a function. So that's why I like to show it that way, but you can do it either way. All right, so the next one say to find f of g of x and g of f of x is us to state the domain. I'm not worried about that part. I mean, you can do it if you want, but all right. 16, I've got f of x is equal to x squared minus 1. And g of x is 1 over x minus 1. Alright, so f of g of x. Okay, and this time they do actually write it like this in your book, so they're kind of going back and forth a little bit. So anywhere I see an x and f of x, I'm plugging in the function g of x. Okay, so I've got 1 over x minus 1 squared minus 1. It is pouring. Sorry, squirrel.
Today's Reformation Sunday. Or like,
Well, Sunday is
that's
Reformation
what I
Day,
meant
but
to say.
yeah. Miss Marshall has the 95 Theses nailed to her door.
It's because Mr. Sachs nailed it.
Oh.
Or like, I heard banging, so I got there and he's like putting it on the door, and I'm like,
My history teacher used to always do it. And we would get to do Reformation Day posters. And if we did them, we got extra credit on a test. It was great. Anyways. All right, so I need to factor this.
Nope. That's a good
Well,
question.
one is squared, and then the square goes to the bottom too, so that's just x minus 1 squared.
I don't really like this.
Okay,
So then-
I'm okay if you leave it here. If you want to keep going on the bottom, what would you have?
X squared minus 2x plus, no, 1. It's 1. Yes.
Okay. Either of these is fine.
Stop yelling.
You don't have after the test.
You do.
You know?
You always have to.
I know, but I'm just hoping we don't.
When will we stop doing vocab for the rest of this question?
Well, we usually stop at
No.
9.
Well, we're not, because we have the research paper, so how are we going to be ahead of other classes?
All right, g of f of x. So anywhere I see an x in g of x, I'm plugging in f of x. So 1 over x squared minus 1 simplifies to what?
X squared minus 2.
Let's take too much. That's it?
Yep. So if it gave you a number, obviously you could plug the number in at this point and
That's the answer?
yep.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys try one by yourself,
Awesome. Okay.
and then y'all can tell me how you feel about it. If you feel like we need to do another one or not.
Okay.
All right, f of x.
Wait, are you, okay, you gave us time.
We may end up doing the other one, but yeah. Anyways, okay. X cubed and g of x is the cube root of 1 minus x cubed.
Oh, well, you want us to do this one by ourselves?
This is easier than the one that I thought about giving you. So
I don't even know what a cube root is.
I don't either.
It's like, you know how square roots are like a square root?
So you have to do it by 3.
yes.
Oh boy.
So you need to do f of g of x and g of f of x.
Is this easy?
Yes.
Like, it looks easy, and I don't know if I'm doing it right. I understand like the actual formula, but now I'm confused with the thing you can do. What?
This one's only a 2-step problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I was
noticed
pretty
it
sure
as
it
I was
was.
doing it. It's like it looks so scary, and then when you do it, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, well, then I'm definitely doing something wrong.
It's just set up very nicely.
Let's see if I do it right then. Is it x cubed cubed? You can't have that, can you? I mean, you have to be able to have that.
I don't know if I'm right, but I think I got the right one.
I got the first answer, but I don't know. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. This is the problem. You put this kind of stuff in there. So
This is easier than any of the other ones we have
The
done to
cube-
this
wait,
point.
The cube root,
That's what I was thinking.
what if it's a square root on the inside?
But
Huh?
I don't know.
You
Like-
shouldn't have a square root on the inside. On this problem.
No, it's not a square root, but it's like, it could be a square root. Like, if it was under the square root, you could get something.
Alright, is everyone ready?
Well, you have to have,
Might
so
be
like
a-
under a square root, you have to have 2 things to take it out. Under a cube root, you have to have 3 things to take it out.
I don't know if I did it right,
What
but
if
I
you
got
don't?
an answer.
Usually leave it as
You
it
just
is.
leave it. Alright, so in f of x, anywhere I see x, I'm putting g of x. So, the cube root of 1 minus x cubed. Cubed. Cubes cancel.
1 minus x cubed.
1 minus x cubed.
I did
Okay,
get
how
it
come the
right,
square
but I
root
did
sign goes
kind
right?
of right.
Because I'm
Oh.
taking a cube root and cubing it. So
Okay.
those offset each other.
I was on the right.
So like if I had a square root and a square, they cancel each
Can
other.
someone tell me where I got 3 from in this problem? put
I
1
would love
minus-
to if I knew.
I put 1 minus 3. And for x, I just took out the x and all.
Alright, so then in g of f of x, anywhere I see an x in g of x, I'm putting f of x. So the cube root of 1 minus x cubed cubed is equal to the cube root of 1 minus x to the 9th.
I did something. I didn't write it right.
That
I
is
forgot
really easy. I
something, but I like got.
I was
had the right.
overthinking.
Sorry,
I was
Joel.
too.
no.
I had the right process. I just didn't write it correctly.
I literally
forgot.
just put a 3 down there. And I was like,
I understand
Alright,
the
I got
actual,
it.
like,
I get it
formula,
now.
but I just didn't understand that it was way simpler.
We can probably do one more because that was.
But I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the one more because I decided I need to based on what it is.
Okay. Are we doing it by yourself or is it different?
I don't think you're gonna like me if I make you do this one by yourself.
Yeah,
So,
you go.
all right, f of x is equal to 1 over x plus 1, and g of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. So if you want to do that one by yourself,
Nope.
by all
No,
means,
I think we're good.
have at it.
I think I'm
But
good.
f of g of x. So anywhere I see x and f of x, I'm putting g of x. So 1 over x minus 1 plus 1. What do you think I need to do?
Cry.
Can the ones cancel?
Huh?
Can the ones cancel?
Nope.
what?
I have no idea.
Not
how to
allowed.
do this. I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, if I just gave
Did
you,
multiply by 1 over x?
if I just gave you that, what would you tell me you need to do to combine
Put the
those?
1 over 1.
It's just
Put the 1 over x.
And then you can.
Okay, I would need to also get this over x minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to do that over here. So I'll leave the 1 alone on top. 1 over x minus 1 plus, in order to get this 1 to have x minus 1 on the bottom, I've got to multiply by x minus 1 over x minus 1. So I've got x minus 1 over x minus 1. Since it's just a 1, it's nice. Now, because these are fractions with the same denominator, what does that mean I can do?
You can add them.
Okay, I can combine the top. So 1 over 1 plus x minus 1. Ones are canceling there. Okay, these ones cancel.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh,
left with
I don't have enough room for this.
X over x minus 1.
Is that x minus? Oh, no. No. You just crossed out the 1.
The glare's just weird. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me do this with like red so you can actually tell. Okay, those are gone.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can't leave a fraction on the bottom. If I am dividing by a fraction, what does that mean I do?
So flip.
Okay, multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, keep, change, flip. So that gives me 1 times x minus 1 over x, okay, or since that's just a 1 on top, x minus 1 over x.
Okay.
Okay, so what I want you guys to try now is I want you to try g of f of x. The process is the same. Okay? So g of f of x. So try that one on your own and then we'll walk through it together.
I was just watching this portion. I didn't even have a reason to
We have like
say
15 minutes. Well, no. 17, 18, 19, 20,
We should be done such that you have at least 15 minutes. So.
We're gonna be fine.
I will tell you the problems that you will have to do from this, because I don't know how much time you'll have on Monday.
Is
Since,
it due Monday or is it due?
well, no, because I have to do the last problem, so it'll be due Tuesday, but
Okay.
I don't know how much time you'll have on Monday, because I'm assigning like 7 more problems on Monday.
Wait a minute.
6 more problems on Monday.
Okay.
So does the one just disappear? Like when you go down, so like
Where?
right where the red is.
The ones on the top of the bottom did, because it was 1 minus 1.
Is it still like gonna be the same like that one? Like it's gonna look like that? Like it's gonna be over like it, or are they gonna be beside each other?
It's gonna look exactly like this.
Mrs. Quinn,
Yes.
could you pick up please real quick?
Hi. Yes, we're finishing a problem, and then yes. Yep. Bye. When we're done with the problem, we can go to
We said
office. Sometimes I don't understand why I have to pick up for certain things. Like, it just makes me laugh. I don't know.
Oh.
Because most of what they ask me to pick up for is not stuff that it matters.
Yeah.
I've only ever had one time where they told me something that would have mattered if they said it out loud, I think. It was like somebody's like aunt died, and they were like, "Can you send them to the office?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You need to go to the office," and they were like, "Why?" And I was like, "You just need to go to the office." It's like,
I mean, most of the time they're like, hey, can you...
and I was like, "Oh, and by the way, take your stuff with you." And they were like, "Why?" And I was like,
Just do it.
Just do it."
Yeah, because, like, most of the time if they're like, hey, can you send Ariel to the office, we're all going to watch Ariel walk out of the room, so, like...
Yeah.
there's an occasional time where they'll ask me to come to the office and I have no idea, and it literally like
It's so
scares the
scary.
crap out of me.
I know.
And then you come back and everyone asks you. And it's
Hope if I write with the correct end. Alright, so this one is 1 over x plus 1 minus 1.
It's not working.
Okay, so again, I need to get common denominator, so x plus 1 over x plus 1. So that gives me 1 over x plus 1 minus x plus 1 over x plus 1.
I hate
I'm going to combine this, but make a note that this is a minus sign, meaning it goes on the x and it goes on the 1.
Oh my gosh, why won't the stupid pencil work?
Do you need a new one? Like, I've
It's
got a
like
ton.
that lead isn't going down. Like, there's new lead
is
in
the
it.
lead too big for the pencil?
No. I'm 100% positive because I have.
What color you want? Red, orange, green, blue, or purple?
Purple. Thank you. I caught it, guys.
I'm so fail.
Ah, okay. So, I've got 1 over 1.
Larry got a new pencil.
No, I was writing, guys. I was writing.
Paper has so much more.
Yes,
She's trying to squish it all on one page.
1 minus x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, again,
Wait a second.
the ones are going to cancel because you've got a plus 1 and a minus 1, so those are going away.
Huh? What? Where the heck is a plus 1?
The one's out front. There was a 1 to start with on this piece.
Oh, I see. Oh, I just never heard
I was going to say, that was a Berkeley. All right, so I've got 1 over negative x over x plus 1. I divide by fraction, so I multiply by the reciprocal. So I've got, okay, since this is just a 1 on top, I'm not going to write this step that I wrote over here because there's no point. So I've got x plus 1 over negative x, and that's your answer. Cool?
Yeah. Can I go?
Yeah, so your problems, if you want to go ahead and start on them, you can, or if you want to study, that's
I
fine.
thought this was a tape on good. I gotta study.
Why? This is probably a very stupid question, but why did it flip? Oh, because you need.
Because I was dividing by fraction.
Oh, duh.
This adds to the other 3 we did the other day, and then there'll be.
Yeah, the ones that you had yesterday.
Hold on. Okay.
And then I'm adding 6 more on Monday. Stuff on Monday is pretty easy, though, so it shouldn't be bad.